Part 2 of 3. 7 questions on types of load balancers. 15 seconds each. Pause if you want longer. What does sticky sessions mean and what does it cost you? It pins each user to one particular server, and the cost is that you've put state back where you spent years trying to remove it. That server now holds something no other server has, so when it dies those users don't fail over, they get logged out. And you can't rebalance freely anymore, because moving a user means losing their session. It's a genuine fix that quietly takes your stateless architecture away. A backend is up. Its port is open, but it can't reach the database. Which health check catches this? An application level 1 that actually exercises the dependency. A TCP check proves only that something is listening on a port. A completely broken process can pass it forever, while the load balancer cheerfully sends it traffic. Your health endpoint needs to touch what the service genuinely needs to work. Otherwise, you've built a check that reports on the wrong thing very reliably. What's the danger of making health checks too aggressive? You get a cascade, and it's a genuinely nasty one. One server responds a bit slowly during a blip, so you pull it out. Its traffic redistributes onto the others, which are now more loaded, so they respond slowly too, so you pull them out as well. Your health checking has just methodically removed a healthy fleet. Tuned for real failure, not for a bad half second. Where does TLS termination usually happen and what does that buy you? At the load balancer, and it buys you two things. First, certificate management collapses into one place instead of every backend needing its own. Second, and this is the important one, the balancer can now read the decrypted request, which is exactly the prerequisite for any L7 routing at all. You can't route on a path you can't decrypt. What is a global server load balancer, GSLB, actually doing? It's making the decision at DNS time, before a connection exists at all. Ask for the address and you get a different answer depending on where in the world you are and which regions are currently healthy. That's a genuinely different kind of balancing from everything else in this quiz. No packets are being forwarded, you're just being told a different destination. What is the main weakness of DNS-based load balancing? You don't control who's holding your old answer. Resolver's cache, browser's cache, operating system's cache, and while you can suggest a TTL, plenty of them will happily ignore it. So failing a region over in DNS isn't a switch you flip, it's a wave that rolls through over minutes, with a stubborn tail of clients still hammering a region you took down. Why does gRPC break naive L4 load balancing? Because L4 balances connections, and gRPC barely uses any. It opens one long-lived HTTP to connection and multiplexes thousands of calls down it. So your balancer makes exactly one decision, and every call after that goes to the same backend forever. You get beautifully balanced connections and horrifically unbalanced work, which is a great illustration of what Layer 4 can and can't see. That's part 2. Part 3 picks up right where this left off. It's linked below, along with the full episode.